It is time. It is time for another mead review. Steve, Canadian Sasquatch, coming at you with another third annual Canadian Sasquatch Mead Challenge Mead Review. And this is going to be officially the last official mead review I do. That's right, this is the last one. I've been through 5 meads. This will be the 6th one. There are 7 of us. Math, it's hard. But that means there's only one left. Can't really see the label too good, but that's a pretty kick-ass label though. The other side has a little bit more information that you people might be able to read. Oh, that's right. Porr Himself from Little Face Brewing. That's right. What we have here is Little Face Brewing presents Angry Viking. This cherry melomel will give the Viking warmth and nourishment needed to carry on in battle. Brewed on 12/26/2016, original gravity of 1.225, that's a big boy. Final gravity 1.10 for a ABV of 17.4. 17.4, we know it's a big boy. Let's see here, 9 pounds of raspberry honey, 3 pounds of orange blossom honey, 3 pounds of black cherries, mangrove jack mead yeast. Initial batch size 3 gallons with a yield of 2 gallons for a sweet melomel. So you know how we roll. We're going to pop this puppy open and give it a pour. So we cracked it open with our good old trusty Brew Tubers bottle opener. Let's give it a... Yep, that smells like mead and electrical tape. So let's go ahead and pour it into the cup here. And oh, look at that color. That is a nice golden brown color. Pouring thick. Come out here in some sunlight. Oh yeah, look at that color. So we are definitely getting the honey. It is the predominant aroma. Can't really get much else off of it. So, yeah, that color though, that is a gorgeous color. Nice thick mead. So let's go ahead and give it a flavor. So cheers everybody. Cheers, SJ. Thank you for being in the third annual Mead Challenge. Yep, it poured thick. It coats the mouth. Absolutely no carbonation whatsoever in that. Just a very, very faint hint of cherry on that. The honey is coming through very, very well. I've never had raspberry honey, so that's a new one. The alcohol is definitely there warming you up. There is a little bit of what is that? Just a faint hint of rubber, like the rubber stopper what you use for a carboy. Just a faint hint of that. Usually I end up with that when I've let a mead sit on yeast for too long. So I don't know if you accidentally let it sit on the yeast cake for a little bit too long or not, but that's usually where I get that rubber flavoring from. So we're gonna let this puppy warm up, and we'll be right back. And we're back with good old sjporr's Angry Viking Cherry Melomel. So we've let it warmed up for about 30 minutes or so here. So let's go for another aroma. Get a little bit of vanilla off that this time. Yeah, a little bit of sweet vanilla. Of course, the honey is definitely prominent there. Maybe a faint hint of cherry. Just if the cherry is there, it is very, very faint. But so let's go for another sip on this bad boy. Cheers, everybody. Cheers once again, SJ. Thank you very much for being in this year's Mead Challenge. Okay, so as it's warmed up, that little bit of rubber has started to come forward a little bit more. The honey is also coming forward a little bit more. Basically, all the flavors that I have tasted. Yeah, pretty much all the flavors that I have tasted have come out more as it's warm. So you get more of the honey, more of the rubber. It does feel a little bit more cloying as well. Show you what the, so I did dump the, sorry about that, did dump the rest of the bottle in. There was a little bit of stuff in the bottom, so it is a little bit hazy. But that color is, that's a gorgeous color. I like that color. So things that I would probably do to improve this in the future is, one, try and get it off the yeast cake sooner. Or if it wasn't even sitting that long, like maybe like if it was still needing to ferment more, then try and stir it up a little bit so that the yeast starts sitting at the bottom. That's another thing that I've noticed is when you keep the yeast in suspension so that they're able to do more of what they're doing, then you don't get the off flavors as much as when they're just sitting at the bottom, because that rubber flavor that I'm getting is quite often associated with autolyzed yeast, which is where the yeast are basically dying and you're getting the phenolics of the rubber happening. So either keep them in suspension longer by just getting in there and stirring it daily, or just racking it off the yeast cake. So that's that. Another thing, as it is warming, it's becoming a little bit more cloying, which not horrible. I do like a thick mead. A lot of people don't But what you can do for that is you can put it on some sort of wood like oak or this would go very well with. I would probably use French oak because you'll get a little bit more of the vanilla flavors out of it, as opposed to American, which is just more oaky flavoring, or Hungarian, which will actually give it a little bit more sweetness. So French oak will help out with the vanilla, and cherry vanilla is very good, and the tannins from the oak will help disguise the cloyingness. It will still be there, but it will trick your mouth into realizing that it's not as cloying, so it's not quite as sweet. But yeah, and then the clarity, the cold crashing, and racking it a couple more times, or using something like a sparkaloid or something to help fine it, would turn this into a brilliantly clear mead. Probably would only need to cold crash it twice based on this haze. Sparkaloid for a week would get rid of it for sure. But yeah, other than that, it's a tasty beverage. Okay, that time right there, I did get a little hint of cherry on the flavor. So with that, I would probably for a cherry Melamo, I would probably use more cherry. Uh, what did you use? You used 3 pounds of black cherries. Yeah, for 3 gallons, I would use quite a bit more cherry, and I would also not use just black cherry. Uh, I would add in tart cherries as well, or pie cherries. If you use just the black cherries, then you'll end up with something that tastes more like cough syrup. You'd use the tart cherries, and that helps reduce that cough syrup flavor, especially in a big thick mead like this. So, but yeah, well done, SJ. Thank you again for being a part of the third annual mead challenge. And with that, everybody, be sure to have a pint of awesome, because I know I will. Cheers, everybody.